Brake, 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 brake. Oh, bums. Hello everyone and welcome to another karting video. This time it's BPEC and as you can see it is wet, it is greasy and there's a guy in the tyre barriers. We're going out of the pits for a practice session and I thought, hey, I'd record it, I'd put it up on YouTube. Sadly, I decided to put the camera on the side of the kart, which essentially meant you could see half of the circuit, but you couldn't see another half. We started off a little bit slow, but eventually we kind of got up to pace and we started doing cool overtakes. Like, for example, we caught up to this blue plate. So there are 4 categories in BPEC. Blue plates are the ones in our class. We sent a nice move up the inside. I was feeling hot. I was like, I'm overtaking people in my class, in practice, and it's in the wet. And to be honest, I usually really enjoy these damp and greasy conditions. So I thought I'd just kind of do a little bit of a podcasty video for 10-15 minutes so that you guys can kind of see what a BPEC kart looks like. It's a twin engine Prokart, so there are 2 engines on these bad boys and they're not like ridiculously fast, but they're not ridiculously slow either. As I mentioned, there are 4 categories. There's elites, which are the yellow plates. There are the super pros, which are the red plates. There are the blue plates, which are the pros. That's me. And then there are the clubmen, which are the black plates. We've already overtaken 1 blue plate, and now we're catching up to a red plate. All of the karts are pretty much the same. There's no like difference in spec or horsepower or handling. We all get to set up our own karts. It tends to just be driver experience or skill. So we're going to go up the inside of a red plate, and that made me feel very proud because I was like, I'm a pro driver and I've just overtaken a super pro driver. So I was very happy and I was absolutely flying along. Compared to the kind of the 2-stroke karts that I usually race, these have a little bit more, they're a bit more grunty, I guess you could say. Moving on, we're catching up to another red plate kart. Look at that, we were absolutely flying and we absolutely send it through that right-hander. We're sideways, we get on the brakes, we're pulling alongside this 58 kart, and up the inside we go. So the track conditions were greasy, they were wet, and I was just absolutely loving it. I hate, you know, downpour, but damp conditions I really like. And now I'm catching up to another red plate. That was a sketchy move. A bit of a block pass. I saw the gap open up and I went down the inside. And this is one thing I absolutely love about BPEC compared to rental karting. So if any of you guys who are from rental karting are watching this, in BPEC people don't turn in on you. Even when you go for stupid moves like I just did there, the drivers are a lot more aware of what's happening. They're not, you know, your standard rental karting NPC drivers where they'll just turn in and be oblivious as to what's happening around them. So in BPEC, I feel like there's a lot more trust between drivers of knowing, hey, if I put my nose up the inside, this guy's actually going to be aware of what's happening and isn't going to turn in. Otherwise, well, they're going to flip their car. That move that I did was, you know, not a good move from me. That was on the wrong side of the line. But even then, they're aware of what's happening and they need some space, which is why I really like Prokarts compared to some other series. We've now caught up to this big train of cars. We're going to go out around the outside of one of the clubmen, so that's one of the black plate drivers. And now I'm thinking, okay, can I overtake the others? I want to go up the inside. I made contact with that guy again. That was a sketchy move. I got caught out by how early he braked. I made contact. He then got the switch back on me. And I was thinking, oh, can I overtake him again? Well, I was also thinking that was a little bit naughty. A little bit of side pod to side pod contact. Let's not get too sketchy because they're actually, I think, our championship rivals. After a couple of rounds of the season, that's the pro team that we are battling with in the championship. So we're having a little bit of a battle with them in practice. You know, I'm trying to get the mental edge. He goes up the inside of a clubman. I follow him through, and now I'm thinking, okay, can I go up the inside? There's 2 more karts, but again, I'm just a little bit too much of a P word to go for the move. And also, there's no point really wrecking the kart in practice because that would be silly. So we're just kind of following through. I knew that I had pace and I was just itching to get past because it was weird. I was gaining loads of time under brakes. That seems to be where I'm quick in these greasy conditions. On the brakes, not like mid-corner speed. 95 goes into bits. Now we're behind a super pro, so I'm going to go up the inside, but I completely bottle it. I go in too deep. I go wide. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to let this guy back through. But then look, a yellow plate comes through. And I'm thinking, right, okay, we got to sit behind the yellow plate. Because the yellow plates are like the cream of the crop. They are the quickest drivers in BPEC. That is a top class. And all that was in my mind was, I can keep up with a yellow plate. And I overtook the yellow plate as well. So I was like, I was buzzing. I was going insane right now under the helmet. I was like, I overtook a yellow plate. Ha ha. But then he got back past me. So I think I am going to stop my ranting. And I'm just going to let you guys enjoy me putting in some laps at Ellough Park. And also watching my left elbow cover the camera every now and then. And just enjoy some nice silent laps with this very nice twin-engine Prokart. So, I hope you have enjoyed me putting in those laps. As you can see, I was sticking with that yellow plate, and that was probably one of the proudest BPEC moments I've had in this series. But, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and as I was pushing, I go on the brakes a little bit too late. I run wide, and as soon as you get on the paint, around I go. And at that point, I realized, hey, I'm not going to catch back up to Mr. Yellow Plate, so I've just got to sit behind, and I thought, BPEC is a team of 3 because we do an endurance race, and I thought, right, I'll come in the pits, I'll let my teammates jump in the kart, and that is when disaster struck. As I come into the pits, you'll see this guy on the left. He gives me a little wave. Look at that. He gave me a wave, so I give him a wave. I then clip that yellow sausage on the left. That sends my right rear into the tire, into a metal fence on the right, and then my front right follows suit. That completely wrecked the rear axle. It bent the rear axle. Here's a picture of that rear axle. It also bent the front track rod and massively damaged the wheel. So that was a nice little repair build. Thankfully, the team were able to straighten out the rear axle, so I didn't have to buy a new one. But the track rod end and the wheel I had to get a new one of, which was a nice £65. So that's the disadvantage of doing stuff like BPEC compared to rental cars. If you damage the car, you kind of have to pay for it. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little stint of what a BPEC practice session looks like. And I'll see you all in the next video, which is a cool one. It's the Kart Race of Champions. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later. Ciao.